Good morning everyone, my name is Irene Emil Natasha binti Zainal Muhammad Kari and my metric number is 110212. So before we discuss the issue, let me first explain two important terms in our topic. First, M40 refers to the middle income group in Malaysia, which represents the middle 40% of household. This group generally earns more than low income households but still faces financial pressure due to rising living costs. Second, the sandwich generation refers to individuals who are responsible for supporting both their aging parents and their own children at the same time. In other words, they are sandwiched between two generations that depend on them financially and emotionally. This dual responsibility is the main issue we will focus on in our presentation. Now let's move on to the issue identification. Malaysia's M40 households are currently facing increasing financial pressure due to rising living costs and slower wage growth. Although this group belongs to the middle income category, many still struggle to maintain financial stability. The M40 group is also important because they contribute significantly to domestic consumption and overall economic stability in Malaysia. However, many individuals in this group belong to the sandwich generation, meaning they need to support both the children and the aging parents at the same time. As Malaysia's population continues to age and family sizes become smaller, caregiving responsibilities become even heavier. As a result, this creates a dual care burden, leading to higher expenses, lower savings, increased stress, and in some cases, reduced career opportunities. Next, let's look at the economic impact of this crisis. First, financial stress among M40 households may reduce household consumption because more income is spent on caregiving and daily necessities. Second, caregiving responsibilities can lower labor force participation and productivity. Some individuals may need to reduce working hours or even leave their jobs to care for family members. As a result, reduced workforce efficiency can slow economic growth and increase fiscal pressure on the country. Therefore, the sandwich generation crisis affects not only individuals' household, but also Malaysia's broader economic stability.
Now, I will be presenting about the challenge that are faced by M40 households in Malaysia. In recent years, there are many middle-income families that have been experiencing the increasing financial pressure due to the rising living costs and inflation. This challenge has made it more difficult for them to maintain their standard of living and also their plan for the future. So firstly, I will be explaining about the M40 household crisis in Malaysia. Currently, there are many M40 households in Malaysia that are facing financial challenges due to the rising living costs and also inflation. Unlike the B40 group, M40 group are receiving limited amount of government assistance, while the T20 group generally have greater financial resources than most of them. So as a result, many M40 families are struggling to maintain their standard of living, saving money, and also their plan for the future financial needs. Furthermore, there are one of major challenges that are faced by M40 households in Malaysia, and it is the dual care burden. Many working adults must need to support both of their children and also aging parents. The rising cost of education, healthcare, and also daily living expenses are placing a significant pressure on the household income. This pressure often forces the family to reduce their saving, their investment, and also they need to sacrifice their retirement planning. On the other hand, Malaysia is experiencing an aging population, with people living longer and fertility rates are declining. As family becomes smaller, caregiving responsibilities are often shared by fewer children. This increases the number of individuals and sandwich generation that need to support both of their older parents and also their own children. And lastly, the dual care burden also affects their productivity and also mental well-being. Many individuals struggle to balance their work responsibility with caring for children and their older parents. This can lead to stress, burnout, reduced work performance, and difficulty in career progression. Over time, this pressure can negatively affect both mental health and also overall well-being. That's all from me, and now I will pass the presentation to the next presenter.
Thank you, Edison, for the explanation. So now we will be looking at the theoretical analysis that is related to this M40 household crisis. And there are three theories that is related to this crisis, which are the household production theory, consumer choice theory, and lastly, life cycle hypothesis. And we will be looking at the first theory here, which is the household production theory. This theory is from Gary Becker. It explains that household is a producer that produces services such as childcare, entercare, cooking, and household management using their time and resources. And the households combine market goods, for example, food, childcare services, and medicine, transportation, and utilities to produce outcome, or we call it as products that can provide satisfaction and utility. And this theory also has a formula which can be expressed as U equal to F bracket G comma T and in bracket. And household production theory is related to this M40 household crisis. Just by looking at this, the first relation is M40 households has more increased caregiving responsibilities. M40 households have to provide service to their own children instead of purchasing service, because purchasing service such as purchasing for a childcare from the outside is more expensive. And based on this household production theory, it also has a formula to express this problem, which is care equal to F bracket market services and family time bracket. So caregiving is produced using a combination of purchase service and family effort based on this formula. And the second is the M40 household has cognitive cost of time, because most of the M40 adults have to spend their hours caring for the children and elderly parents rather than busy working. So this causes them to have a delayed career advancement and rejected promotion, because those require a lot of work hours. And the opportunity cost that the M40 adult face is the time of their career have to be sacrificed, because they have caregiving responsibilities that needed to be done. And the next theory is the consumer choice theory. This theory is about consumers make decisions when they have limited income, but they have unlimited wants and needs. But they are limited because due to budget constraints, and it has a formula expressed as M equal to PS plus PS and BY. M has the meaning of our income, and then PSS is the price of goods S, and PSY is the meaning of price of goods Y. And This theory also focuses on utility maximization. Consumers try to achieve the highest level of their satisfaction from their income by choosing the most beneficial combination of goods and services. And how does this theory can relate to M40 household crisis? This is because nowadays there is rising cost of living, which creates a budget constraints. So meaning that families must adjust their spending decisions because they cannot afford all their needs and their wants simultaneously. And the family needs to use their funds on expenses such as daily expenses, housing, car loans, child education, and healthcare. And this effect causes reduced savings and investment. So basically, because due to the rising cost of living, M40 households have less money available for their retirement planning, investment, emergency savings, and their insurance protection. The last theory we have here is the life cycle hypothesis. This theory is explaining about individuals plan their consumption, saving, and spending over their lifetime to maintain a stable standard of living. And this theory also has a formula which can be expressed as C equal to W plus RY divided by T. And based on this theory, relating to the M40 household crisis, it reduced M40 households' capability to save money during their working years. So, making the households have limited funds for their savings and investment. Because due to having limited funds for their savings and investment, they are more highly likely to have a risk of financial insecurity in their retirement, as those M40 households save less money during their working years. So, as a result, this creates a long-term financial vulnerability. And that's all for my part. I would like to pass for the next presenter to present the part. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nabila Amani binti Sandra. My metric number is 111202, and today I will be presenting about 4 policy recommendations to help Malaysia's sandwich generation, especially those in the M40 income group. First, the government should expand childcare and elderly care subsidies. This can reduce caregiving expenses and ease the financial burden on families who need to support both children and aging parents. Second, flexible work arrangements and caregiver protection policies should be introduced. Example include flexible working hours, hybrid work system, and paid caregiver leave. These measures can help employees balance their work and family responsibilities while maintaining productivity. Third, public healthcare and social protection programs should be strengthened. Affordable healthcare services, better medical coverage, and long-term care support can reduce healthcare costs and improve financial security for households. Finally, financial literacy and retirement planning programs should be enhanced. By learning about budgeting, debt management, savings, and retirement planning, M40 households can improve their financial resilience and prepare for future challenges. Overall, this recommendation can reduce financial stress, improve well-being, increase labor productivity, and support sustainable economic growth in Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.
Moving on to expected outcomes, now I will explain both short-term and long-term effects of caregiver support and financial literacy initiative for M40 household and their impact on the economy. First of all, increased subsidies for childcare and elderly care services can reduce caregiving expenses for families. This lowers the overall financial burden on M40 household and give them more disposable income. Families can use the extra money for daily necessities, savings, or emergency funds. Secondly, caregiver support can improve mental health and well-being. Many members of sandwich generation experience stress, anxiety, and burnout from balancing work and caregiving responsibilities. Flexible working arrangement and support programs can help reduce this pressure and improve their overall well-being. Also, healthier workers are less likely to leave the workforce, so it helps to maintain labor productivity and reduce unemployment. Another short term is improve financial management skill. Financial literacy programs help individuals learn important skills such as budgeting, debt management, saving, and investing. This skill encourage better financial planning and decision making. It also improves financial stability and can encourage future investment and consumption and supporting economic growth. Finally, better healthcare support can reduce medical expenses, especially for aging parents. This lowers the financial burden on families and allows them to allocate more resources to household needs, having, and other important expenses. It also ensures elderly parents receive proper healthcare and remain healthy. These short-term benefits create a strong foundation for more sustainable improvement in the future. Next, this slide highlights the long-term economic and social impacts of this initiative. Firstly, improve financial literacy and reduce caregiving costs help families make better financial decisions and build savings. As a result, M40 households become more financially resilient and better prepared for emergency, unexpected expenses, and economic downturns. Secondly, better financial planning encourages long-term savings for retirement. This increases financial independence in later years and reduces reliance on family members or government support. Thirdly, affordable childcare and flexible work arrangements enable more people, especially women, to remain in the workforce. This improves productivity, increases job satisfaction, and reduces employee turnover. Lastly, stronger caregiver support system help reduce the caregiving burden that often falls on women. This allows women to continue pursuing their careers while managing family responsibilities, leading to more equal employment opportunities. Greater workforce participation also increases tax revenue and support long-term economic growth. That's all for my part. Now I will pass the slide to the next person.
In conclusion, Malaysia's sandwich generation, especially among M40 households, is facing growing pressure as they need to support both the children and aging parents at the same time. With rising living costs and economic uncertainty, this dual care burden has become increasingly difficult to manage. It affects not only their financial stability, but also their emotional well-being, productivity, and overall quality of life. This shows that the M40 household crisis is not just a personal issue, but also a broader socio-economic challenge that deserves serious attention. Through effective policy measures, the financial and caregiving burden on these families can be reduced by improving support systems and strengthening financial security. Ultimately, Supporting the sandwich generation means supporting the backbone of many Malaysian households and creating a more stable future for the next generation. Thank you.